Welcome to The Explainer. We're going to dive right in. There's a hidden technological war raging in our skies. It's this incredible, escalating battle between drones and the very systems designed to stop them.
It's this incredibly high-stakes game of cat and mouse, and we're seeing it play out right now, in real time, in conflicts like the war in Ukraine. This is where a whole new age of warfare is being written, and it's not being defined by tanks and soldiers anymore, but by these unmanned systems.
And if you want to get a sense of the sheer scale of this new threat, just look at this number. Almost 600. That's how many drones Russia launched in a single attack wave over one night, mostly hitting energy infrastructure. This isn't some movie plot. This is the new reality of the modern battlefield.
Okay, so when we say drone, what are we even talking about? Because it's not just the little flying cameras you're probably thinking of. The term covers any unmanned system. You've got UAVs in the air, UGVs on the ground, think robotic mine clearers, and even USVs on the sea, like those wild kamikaze boats we've all seen footage of from the Black Sea.
All right, so you've got this massive threat. The obvious next question is, how do you stop it? Well, nations are scrambling to build what they're calling a drone shield. Let's get into how one of these things actually works.
At its core, any drone defense, the shield, it really boils down to two things. First, you gotta see them coming. That's detection. Second, you gotta find a way to take them down. That's interdiction. Sounds simple enough, right? But as you're about to see, each of those steps is unbelievably complex.
So for that first step, detection, it's not like there's one magic bullet. It's all about a layered approach. You've got your traditional radar, right? Great for long range, but smaller drones can fly super low and just sneak right under it. Then you've got RF scanners that can actually sniff out the drone's control signal. There are even acoustic sensors that are just listening. And of course, good old-fashioned visual detection. But every single one of these has a blind spot, a weakness.
Okay, so once you've spotted the drone, how do you stop it? This is where it gets really interesting, because there are two totally different ways to think about it. You've got your hard kill, which is exactly what it sounds like. You just shoot the thing down with a missile, cannon, whatever. Then there's the soft kill, which is way more subtle. Instead of physical force, you're using energy, zapping it with a laser, hitting it with microwaves, or just jamming its radio signal to fry its brain, so to speak.
But here's the thing. This is an arms race. For every shield that gets built, you can bet someone is already building a bigger hammer to smash it. Attackers have gotten incredibly clever, and they've figured out a ton of ways to break right through these defenses. It's this constant, relentless back and forth.
Okay, so strategy number one for breaking the shield is pretty simple. Just get sneakier. If they never even see you coming, how are they going to stop you?
So how do you get sneakier? Well, a few key ways. You can go for stealth, right? Using special shapes and coatings to basically disappear from radar. Or you can maneuver differently. Fly super low to the ground, what they call nap of the earth flying, or even use fog or bad weather as cover. And one of the cleverest tactics? Decoys. You send in a bunch of cheap, dumb drones to get all the attention, and while the defenses are busy with them, your real attacker slips right through.
All right, so if you can't sneak past the shield, well, the next best thing is to just get stronger. Either punch right through it or be tough enough to take the hit and keep on coming.
And this is where the escalation just goes to another level. We're talking about drones being built with special coatings that can literally absorb or reflect laser beams. Even crazier, some are now being armed with their own missiles specifically designed to hunt down and destroy the defense systems that are trying to shoot them down. Think about that. It's a drone that actively fights back.
But maybe the biggest leap forward, the real game changer, is strategy number 3, get smarter. This is the point where the software inside the drone starts to matter even more than the hardware it's made of.
And this is where things get really, really clever. You can use massing. Basically just sending in so many drones at once that the defenses can't possibly shoot them all down. It's a saturation attack. Or you can make the drones fully autonomous. That means no human pilot, no radio link to jam. The drone just knows its mission and goes. And what about GPS jamming? Well, you upgrade the navigation. You give the drone preloaded satellite maps so it can navigate by looking at the ground, making GPS completely irrelevant.
This whole arms race, it's not just about who has the coolest tech. It's also an economic battle. In a very real way, this new kind of warfare is being fought on spreadsheets. The cost of every single shot is becoming a huge deal.
So let's take a look at the Shahed drone, one of the most common ones Russia is using.
When experts have taken them apart, they figure all the components inside add up to about $20,000. That's the build cost.
But get this, hacked documents have shown that Russia is actually paying Iran closer to $200,000 for each one. That's a 10x markup. And it just goes to show you how messy wartime supply chains and sanctions can get.
But even at that crazy high price, just look at this comparison. A single cruise missile can run you $2 million or more. So suddenly that $200,000 drone that can do a similar job, it starts to look like an incredible bargain. And that economic imbalance is what's driving this entire strategy. It's pointing to a future where wars might not be won by the side with the biggest bombs, but by the side that can afford to keep fighting.
And it's this huge cost advantage that's fueling this nonstop cycle of innovation. Both sides are adapting, literally on the battlefield in real time. We're not talking about tech evolving over years anymore. We're talking about weeks, sometimes even days.
And you can see this escalation cycle playing out perfectly right now. So Ukraine got really good at jamming GPS. Russia's response? They've modified their Shaheds. They took out the pre-programmed flight paths and put in systems that let a human pilot fly them in real time. Just like that, a simple one-way kamikaze drone becomes a tactical hunter that can actually track and attack moving targets.
Which brings us right back to the money. At the end of the day, it's all about economics. Just like the authors from our source materials say, the whole reason these drones are so valuable is because they're cheap. If it starts costing too much money to develop the tech to break through the defenses, well, that entire strategic advantage could just vanish.
And that leaves us with a huge critical question. In this new era of warfare, as the drones themselves get cheaper and basically disposable, what's actually more important? The physical hardware you're launching or the smart software that's guiding it? The answer to that question is probably going to define what the future of war looks like.